The next presenter is Mr. Yuri Raizman, who will also be talking about clouds. The cloud that he has launched already has not only photo mod but many other things, many other geoinformational software, and we're going to hear about that. Hello, colleagues. I'm happy to see all of you here again. I see interesting things here popping up, as always. I decided, actually we discussed it a year ago. The project about GeoCloud was started about one and a half, 2 years ago, including the original prep work. Last year, when we got together in Israel, those of you who remember, I made a special presentation about that. Then it was still in prototype. The actual website was a prototype, that's why we showed some presentation. But now we're prepared to show you the real thing. And 2 months ago we launched this website actually, and now I'm going to show in real time how it works. The site is called geocloud.org, and I'd like to .work, which means that it's used for work. You can enter it and use the software without exiting this site, and keep the data there, process the data, and move this data to your to the people, to your customers, and keep it for yourself, whatever you want. So this site is designed for 3 types of users. First, geospatial professionals, people who are practicing geodesic land surveying and remote sensing and geoinformation of GIS systems. Second type of users of this site would be software developers who can install their own software there. Now they're welcome to do so independently. We have an interface developed which allows any developer to test the software within this site. And the third stage, which we're starting now to develop, are the data suppliers. It could be space companies, satellites, anything related to data within 1 month can be seen. The first prototype can be seen on the site. What do we have here? We have the so-called landing page, which is the main page of the site, telling you how good it is and what kind of advantages it offers. Here we explain how better to use it, the cloud technologies compared to desktop technologies, all sorts of advantages in beautiful form, scalability and other things. You don't need to buy a license, it's important, and the payment for the use is based on the so-called pay per use, when you pay hourly rate. When you have used any software within 1 hour, you paid for this 1 hour. If you need 10 hours, you pay for 10 hours. If there is a certain price discount scheme, the more you use, the less you pay, in other words, per hour. Then the hourly rate goes down depending on the number of hours that you have used. Oops, what happened? Collaboration. it's an interesting thing. For instance, somebody is developing data for somebody. Now you first upload it into your computer, you process them, then you download them and transfer them to your customers. Customers have to upload them to their computers and so on. In our case, it's not needed. You simply share your data with others because this data is stored in the cloud and on your disk that you have selected for it. You can share this data with your client, and your customer will enter this disk and then continue working with this with their software, which might be available on our site too, or they are welcome to download this data themselves. So there's no longer a need to transmit data from one computer to another to some temporary disks. Not necessary here. The software, in fact, can be proprietary. If you're a client of data and you have your own proprietary data, you can install your own proprietary data there and work only with that. And the software will serve only you. It is used by companies who, in our case, because there are many companies who work in Africa, they fly to Africa and often they need to deploy a full system with software and servers that works. It's quite an expensive and sophisticated operation. In this case, they are welcome to install their own proprietary software on the cloud. They go to Africa, Kenya, Angola, whatever, and they connect to internet. Internet is ubiquitous everywhere, and they can work based on their own software in this cloud. There is no need to have a server like previously. They had to bring their servers and hire locals and do all these things. No longer necessary now. It's made redundant. Now we're based on Amazon Cloud. Amazon Cloud is good because it's quite powerful and is well distributed all over the world. That is why now our main hub is in Frankfurt, our site is, but we have a cloning system. For instance, if we see that we have many users who are in India, China, Australia, and so on, we potentially can clone either the whole site or the software needed for our users to the data center, local data center, and the local clients will be using this data center, and the speed of data transmission might be faster and speedier. We have checked on it, but it's not a fact actually, because the speed of data processing, or rather not processing, but data transmission speed depends on the global networks which are distributed all over the world. And for instance, sometimes the transmission network from the United States to Europe works much faster than the local network in India or China. I checked on it. I'm from Israel myself. I checked from Israel, not the data processing, but data transmission speed from Frankfurt. Looks like close by, looks like we're close to Europe, and everything is okay. But it turned out that working in Canada or United States is much faster to transmit data from Frankfurt than from Israel to Frankfurt, although the distance is many times shorter. So it doesn't work depending on the distance. And we're working on these checkups. Now we have clients in the United States, in Canada, in Australia, in India, who work with our site in Frankfurt, and they are not complaining about any delays in data transmission. I specifically tell you that this is data transmission. It's less related to processing, because the processing is done usually locally on somebody's dedicated computer, and it's not related to the remoteness of that computer from you, only if it's not graphical visualization on the screen. Now it's clear that we have respected people from all over the world. The company Rakurs, represented by Dr. Adrev, recommends using this GeoCloud. Professor Levin from the University of Michigan was our first tester at the academic platform. He started to test our system and fell in love with it a year ago. This year in summer, He did a course based on our system for American teachers of geography and geoinformation. And this year he promised that he's not going to use anything else but only GeoCloud in his work at the University of Michigan. The management team is made up of one person, me. I have a few other people who help me out. We're members of ISPRS. Victor Adrov mentioned today that he signed into ISPRS in 1998 and organized the company in 1993, so basically 5 years after that. I did much faster, just 2 years after organizing my company. And let us look now at how it works. To see how it works, we are going simply to click on this button, software, and we're inside. Whereas in the first version, this is version 3 of our site. We launched the first one on July 7th, and we start to get first initial results right away and some feedbacks, and we start to analyze the statistics, visiting statistics, look at these bottlenecks. The first version was regular. We had to get registered, and after the registration, get inside. People don't like to register. If they don't want it, they don't register. That's why they enter only the learners page and see what's going on there, and usually don't understand and leave it. We have removed registration step and made it fully open. You can see here it's writing, yes, it says guest, right? And as a guest you can enter it and do whatever you want until you start working. Just like booking. Like in booking.com, you use the same principle. So basically we borrow that principle from them. You can look at different hotels and check on different hotels. When you click on the hotel saying that you want this hotel, booking.com asks for your email and your card details. The same thing happens here. Whenever you select your software that you want, we ask for your email and your credit card. We're not asking you what kind of company you have. You can write it or you don't write it. We don't want your personal details, only email and credit card. Email is needed to send you an invoice at the end for the work done. We're not checking on our clients. The credit card, we are not doing that. We have subscribed along with the American company Fast Spring. There are many companies like that. We have worked with many of them, and eventually we decided to choose Fast Spring, which does this very efficiently, simply, without any additional headache. Whereas the previous company that we got linked to took us about 6 months to undergo all the European processes. With American, it took 2 weeks. In 2 weeks we got connected and everything went online. Let us look at how it works. We're not going to choose auto scan. We'll choose photomat. I think it will be the right thing to do now. Not only one photomat, but you can select 10 photomats or 100 photomats. We selected 9 photomats. And now we're going to click this button. Now it's asking us for what kind of disk we'd like to use. You need to understand that one disk would cover all this 9 photomats, or 9 different companies, or 9 different softwares. One disk serves all these computers. Whenever we select one photomat, it's one computer on Amazon which already has pre-installed photomat. In other words, it's installed not on this computer, and this technology works such a way that we prepare beforehand the image of the computer with its software pre-installed, and when a user selects this software, we unroll this image into a real computer. For instance, you select 10 photomats, then we are going to unroll this image in 10 real computers, and then with this one photo mod, 10 people can work. These 10 people can sit in different places, actually. In this case, they will have single storage. If you have a big project, for instance, and a few people are working on the same project, then you can upload your images there. You can select not 25 gigabytes, but say 10 terabytes. We can organize more than that. Here you can switch on different speeds of data transmission. If your internet is more 30 bps, we recommend, if you have a line for this. The prices are changing depending on the pricing schedule.
If you need the faster data transmission rates, then you can use the slider to use enhanced data transfer. Let's say you select 5 gigabytes. Push create. So a start storage has been created with your 10 photo mods. It could be anything, not necessarily photo mods, of course, any other software developer. For example, for the immediate task, you need bingo, you need to perform triangulation, then you want to generate or the photo mosaic with photo mosaic, AGI soft or KB panorama or any other software which we always have. If there's something lacking, something not listed, you can add it or you can delete it. A standard set of functions. So you need to start storage, and it prompts us payment option. So then you need to go to billing and pay 8 cents. 8 cents is the cost per hour. Since I am logged in as a guest, I have to pay something. So let's try to follow the links. It's either authorization or logging in. If I'm a logged in user, I'm going to choose an account via Google. And now, as you can see, as I logged in, I'm no longer a guest. I am Yuri Raizman with my relevant number, with the money, nearly 5 grand. So I can start working as long as the money is there. Since I have re-registered, then progress has not been saved. Let's choose a range. Again, 25 GB. Create. Start storage. So another tip is you have running hourly price. We always offer 2 prices, one per storage, one for computer. Running price and stopped price. For stopped storage, we pay only to Amazon. For running time, we pay not only to Amazon but to respective vendors like Rakus. If you don't need to do anything at the moment, you can stop storage, and the price will drop dramatically for you. So this is all beginning to work. Start storage normally takes up to 2 minutes. Start computer takes 3 to 5 minutes first time around. What happens is that somewhere in Frankfurt your system is being deployed. All these systems are saved as compressed images. We requested Amazon, so the storage started to deploy these images in a real computer. So it's 25 gigabyte large. After that we can go to File Manager, and there are 3 ways you can opt for. One is copy-paste. So you open your real computer on a remote desktop protocol window. I will show it in a second. So you can simply copy and paste it from your computer into another computer, but it's not reliable. I mean, it's not stable. Some of the files may be interrupted or disrupted on the way. So if these are smaller files we're talking about, they can well be used with this option. The second option is upload files. You click here and our system uploads your files on the storage. You can also use multiple files transfer. When you are dealing with many files or large size files, here we're using FTP protocol. You can install FileZilla and then use this. This works well, very consistent. Even if it interrupts, it will resume from the point of interruption. Works fast. If your speed, I mean, it's not all about internet speed. It could be country to country or continent to continent data transfer peculiarities, but if it's a local rate is 100 Mbps, which is an overall standard, at least for manufacturing, for 60 gigabytes can be downloaded in 1 hour, and then you will be at liberty to process all this data. So let's say we uploaded something here. Once the uploading has been complete, if you have any data, you first need to upload data, then start computer. If you don't have any data, then you can immediately go to start computer. In our area, there is always some data to upload, right? So let's start storage. Again, other tips. Got it. You better read those tips, because they navigate you to how to do it right. And at the end of the day, they are saving your money. Start storage will take up to 3 to 5 minutes. It's ongoing, so in the meantime, let's visit the billing system. There are several reports, user reports. Each user may log in and see how much was spent with what software and what billing is due at the end of the month. And the same report goes to vendors. So the vendors might drop by to see how often and how much their product, their software has been in use, and how much they can expect at the end of the month as payment. There are three ways to pay. The first one is that we accept all credit cards and PayPal and Amazon. So you punch in your credit card number, you begin using the service. We count the numbers that you spend, and at the end of the month, the Fast Spring company will bill you. I mean, we will send you an invoice with all the numbers, but Fast Spring is going to charge you, is going to charge the exact amount of money that you spent on the 7th day of the next month. So you can work for the entire month and pay after that. The second kind of payment is depositing. You can choose any amount that you like. Then again, you have to link it to your credit card. The Fast Spring company immediately debits the card, and you are allowed to work as long as the deposit amount hasn't run out. If you need extra time, you pay extra and continue to work immediately. Of course, we will send you prompts informing you how much money is left, to make sure that you don't stop in the middle of the process. Letting you know just what's the balance of your deposit, how much time is left, to make sure that you don't jeopardize the implementation of your project. So then we do copy password, save it. This regular RDP Connect that comes installed in each and every computer these days. I'm almost done. This is the culminating point of my presentation. We're going to see desktop with Photomod UIS. Each of these comes with a free features. So this is a regular desktop with Photomod. If you press this button, you will see this. This is your operating window. You can organize your workspace as you will. If you need to write a small report, we are now working with Soda company. It's like Adobe, Canadian-based. So the Office interface that you typically require will be here as well. Well, I guess that's all I have for now. Thank you very much. Everyone is hungry, and we are running out of time. I will invite you all to the round table on Wednesday, and me and Yuri will answer